Thanks for everyone who is on the call listening. As Lydia already mentioned, we are Anna and Stoycho, and we both have our eco-friendly business, EcoSwitch. We founded the company 2 years ago, and our main mission is to fight a global problem which is directly linked to climate change. Actually, it's plastic pollution. We help individuals and companies as well to minimize their plastic footprint.
And initially, we didn't really set out to start a business. So it's kind of funny, but we were doing this brainstorming of what can we actually do in terms of plastic pollution, because it's this huge global phenomenon, and it's kind of when you start thinking about it, it's very difficult to find a place to start from. So we decided that we'll create this platform which should raise awareness about plastic pollution, and the point is to switch people basically to come to a more eco-conscious way of living. But as we were speaking about it, it kind of came natural to us that okay, we will talk about it, we'll raise awareness, but can we provide any solutions to that? So that's how this kind of whole thing grew into becoming a business.
We ended up with a store with eco-friendly alternatives to single-use plastic.
Yeah, and at the same time we are doing talks to companies, organizations, and individuals, and whatever we can, and we are just shouting about plastic pollution and what can we do on individual level. And we would like to talk to you about the perception which is here in Bulgaria towards eco-conscious way of living and towards zero waste life, living of life. So we, as we mentioned, we started back in 2018, and since then we've been really into that topic. So we've had the pleasure of speaking to a lot of people and organizations and companies, and we are seeing this trend in Bulgaria, which is building up, and it's getting more and more. It's especially in young people. You have this sort of community of people who are getting more and more sorry about that, who are getting more and more into zero waste and eco-conscious way of living, and also especially looking at the past 1 year, you have plastic pollution coming up on TV quite frequently, which simply wasn't the case back in the day, just 2 years ago. This wasn't really happening. So we are seeing this kind of positive trend on that end. We've had cases like at certain events where little children are coming up to us and asking about metal straws because they would like to save the turtles, which was quite cute, and it's really and that is the future really. So we're really happy about such situations occurring in our way of leading the business.
At the same time, I hope it's interesting for you to receive some insights from a smaller European country. At the same time, what we see here in Bulgaria is that it's mostly this positive trend is mostly limited to a community of young people who are living in the bigger cities. They have more access to information, and at the same time, eco-friendly products are like a bit more expensive, and we see that people who have a higher standard of living can actually afford to have such a lifestyle. And this is kindly stopping the problem to be realized by the wider public, if I can say so. Part of the challenge to be eco-friendly nowadays.
Yeah, and especially speaking of challenges, we also wanted to touch upon this topic, exactly what are the challenges which individuals who are leading this eco-conscious life what challenges are they facing on a daily basis. And Jordan already mentioned some of them, that you have this climate change, which is this huge thing, and it's very broad. So we decided that we would like to focus on plastic pollution, and then we decided to narrow it down a bit more and focus on local level, which is in Bulgaria, which is in our area, and what can we actually do? Because when you start thinking about the global issues, and sometimes people feel a bit small and lost, because there are so much things that you have to consider. On a daily basis, trying to lead this eco-conscious lifestyle from our perspective, from Bulgaria, it has its kind of limitations. One which we find out to be is that normally you have these statistics for plastic pollution, which are out there somewhere in the whether it's in the ocean or it's in Asia. You have statistics for the US, for example. You have all types of information which you can gather and educate yourself. Same goes for UK, for Western Europe. But on a local level, you normally don't get this type of data saying, okay, in Bulgaria you have plastic pollution, it's this and that. So it's kind of this distant thing which is somewhere out there, and it's really difficult for people to associate with that. And I was very happy to hear both James and Jordan speak about it, because I think that it's really it's essential that people also have this opportunity to make changes in business and related to global issues which we currently have. So in Bulgaria now is this kind of weird situation where we have certain legislations, but they are not really quite clear enough.
For example, we sent some emails to our Bulgarian Agency of Food Safety, asking them whether is it legally okay to purchase some food or anything in your own containers. And we received two different answers. One of which was it's up to the business which is offering these products. They need to comply with certain regulations. And the second one was there is no regulation for this scenario, so you can do whatever you want. And we feel that until we don't have a legislation, hopefully with the EU directive for plastic pollution coming up next year, we'll have some improvement on this. People won't be allowed to feel comfortable enough with leading such a lifestyle, buying goods in their own containers, carrying their own bags, and doing everything which is needed, actually.
Yeah, I think that to some extent we are kind of seeing Bulgaria lagging behind comparing to Western Europe countries. For example, if you travel to Germany, you have these deposit systems everywhere, and this is set as the norm. While in Bulgaria, people seem to feel like kind of rebels when they are trying to lead this type of lifestyle, and that is our aim. We try to break that, of course, but this comes with legislations. It comes with government
systematic change.
Yeah, because it's really when you sum it down, it's really hard for individual to do this, because on one hand you have to grasp the whole picture of the problem. On the other hand, you have to be constantly refusing stuff. Like wherever you go, you have to refuse that plastic straw, or you have to refuse the plastic bag. And sometimes people do look at you a bit weirdly, which presents its challenges to individuals. So it's kind of tiring. You have to build this habit of doing stuff and refusing certain stuff to people, and then all of this is kind of piling up, and it leads to inaction in the end, which what we like to avoid, of course, because we see it even on a local level, because we are taking part of different meetings. Once we got invited to this kind of a business restaurants meeting where the owners of certain restaurants in Sofia had gathered around with some eco-friendly businesses like ours, and just speaking about the challenges which they are facing from their perspective and how they would like to, for example, replace the plastic straws, because it seems that people don't really want them anymore. So that is really one specific example. We like to speak in specific examples because I think that it's empowering, because we've seen it with our eyes how actual measures taken by people who are refusing plastic straws have an impact on business then, and they are gathering around and looking for ways for alternatives and how can we do better in that perspective.
Yeah, the truth is that what we try to constantly share through our platforms and social media is like, we won't probably save the whole planet by just refusing last straw, but the message that we send is important. As you guys already mentioned, many people don't realize the power they actually have, and we can influence businesses and even governments to make the changes that will make a real difference.
Exactly.
Speaking of businesses, our last point is a few insights of our experience with trying to sell eco-friendly goods. It turned out that there's a lot of things which are not built to be sustainable in the first place. In the beginning, we had no idea what trade is like, how we can find some products and then offer them to the people. No clue at all. It turned out that it's quite common for factories, for example, from where we buy our products, to put our products in some basic packaging, which is usually, let's say, for example, we have a stainless steel bottle. Lydia keeps showing it on the screen. Yeah, it comes by default in a basic, really cheap box, cardboard box, which
like
is
a transportation box, really.
Yeah, meant for transportation purposes, and it's covered with plastic. On top, it's very unstable. Sometimes we get our goods with flaws, and this is creating another stream of waste we definitely don't want to have. Sometimes goods are traveling like thousands of miles, which is, you can imagine, CO2 emissions, a lot of them. Then we get the box, get the goods. We have to remove some of the boxes. We need to replace them with better looking ones, because the end consumer is very used to only perfectly looking goods, which is another thing that can change, because we can use even the ugly products because they are still valuable. Then we need to ship those items to our clients who are interested in living this eco-friendly lifestyle. And when going to the courier office, they hurry up to put everything in plastic bags. And the whole process is like plastic, carbon everywhere. And at the same time, it's not a rocket science for a business like ours. And imagine what will happen if a bigger business makes such steps. It will be a huge change to change this process. For example, what we did was replace this box with another one, which is firstly 100% recyclable. Then it's made from a harder cardboard, so we never have any wasted bottles at all. And then we decided to use that very same box to ship the items directly to our clients without using anything additionally or replacing with designerish boxes. We also managed to simply by a few conversations with the people from the courier service to make them understand that we don't want this plastic packaging that they have in their process, and they don't even think about it. So a few conversations, a few steps, and we managed to green the whole process a lot. And if huge businesses do some small steps like this, I imagine they're selling bigger and bigger quantities, and they have a lot of clients. This will lead to a huge impact.
Yeah, basically the potential is huge. Really, you have these business operations which can be optimized, as we are proving to ourselves every day, and imagining this scaling up then to bigger businesses, then that could have a real impact. And that's why we kind of prefer to share this real lifestyle, these real life stories, and to make people aware that there is potential there, and it can happen. It can be done on our little business scale, and it can be done on a larger scale. And that is what we are kind of really looking forward to in the future.
To see around us, yeah.